Welcome to the Edamame Anime Club, where we prefer to live in a studio apartment with one restroom and have two roommates, then ruled over Ente Isla. I'm your co-host, Steve, and I'm joined with my other co-host,
Alexander. Nice to be here.
And best friend. Yeah.
Best anime.
Best anime friends.
Yeah.
All right. What anime are we doing today? I already cracked mine open. Sorry. I'm eager.
Okay. Today we're going to be doing The Devil is a Part-Timer. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it's kind of like a satire anime where Satan is forced to get a job at McDonald's.
Exactly.
And,
so a quick synopsis of this is that Satan is the ruler of a land called Ente Isla, where he is ruling over the four continents that's slowly getting taken over, reclaimed by a hero known as Emilia. And as Emilia slowly closes in, Satan has no other choice to teleport himself and his servant, ASCII.
Alciel is like his devil name, but ASCII is like his human name.
I'm gonna use their human name because most of the time they're humans. So I'm gonna use the human name. So ASCII, and they teleport back to Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
Where they learn their language and they start to assimilate. And that's where we get started journey, because Satan, who is now known as Maoh, has gotten a part-time, not a full-time job, part-time job as a MgRonald, not McDonald, MgRonald employee.
Yeah, I actually really like the play on the name. It's hilarious.
It's so funny. It just makes me laugh because it's like a satire in a satire. It's like satire inception. So, all right, well, let's get into it.
All right, so just to give a brief synopsis, The Devil is a Part-Timer is originally a light novel. It is adapted by and produced by, I guess, Studio White Fox and directed by Naoto Hosoda and aired in April of 2013. Also, a second season just finished airing, but we're only going to be reviewing season 1 right now.
Yeah, so if you've seen, well, there are obviously no spoilers for season 2 because we haven't even seen any of it. Yeah. I don't even know what would it be about, and we'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and get into these reviews that we have.
Yeah, I always like to read some reviews of other people before we give our reviews. I'm going to start with a 1-star review, then a 5, and then a 10.
Let's start with the 10 and the 5 and the 1. Do you have them lined up right now?
Yeah.
Let's go. I want to, because I feel like the 1's going to be very funny, but this 10 one I heard is funny.
The 10 one, it gave me a chuckle. Tell me if this sounds like a 10-star rating of an anime you would watch. All right, 10-star review on IMDb by Sankit Moore 88866. Perfect to watch, and I would definitely rate it 100 out of 10 if possible. It's definitely worth watching, and I hope it will give us not just 3 to 4 seasons, but I hope this anime will be never ending. And it would definitely recommend to watch it. Worth watching, you can thank me later. I haven't seen characters as good as this anime ever. I would recommend no one anime of all time. Like, I just can't explain in details, but in season 2, you will see a little girl I haven't seen a cute small girl ever in my entire life. Just can't explain her cuteness in words. If possible, I want to live this and this anime in my real life too. I know it is a childish dream, but it seems I have fallen in love with this anime and all of its characters. Thank you.
I don't know if you're trying, but you sounded sarcastic. I know you said he sounded sarcastic, but you sounded sarcastic reading that.
I mean, maybe that's just my interpretation of it.
No, I mean it's either he's like being sarcastic because like this is maybe like the #1 fan for this anime.
Maybe it's the only anime he's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. If this is the only anime you've ever seen, this would be the best anime ever. But that would be I bet you he's actually probably resonates maybe with it. Maybe works at McDonald's.
Yeah, maybe. It was actually posted in November 2022, so he just saw this. Relatively, I guess.
I wish we get some like how old they are when they write these, because that would like paint a really good picture. Like he was maybe he doesn't know a lot about jobs or about. I mean, maybe he doesn't understand.
He wants to like his ultimate goal is to
work at McDonald's.
Yeah, part-time employee. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Good for him. Yeah. But all right, that's. I mean, if he's being honest, like not being sarcastic, then that's a very nice review. All right, what's the 5 one?
All right, we'll go ahead and read the 5-star review. This one's by Sebastian Ali 123. The most generic anime I have ever seen with a filter of originality. Many will hate me for this, but that's how I see it. Although at first glance, when looking at the first 2 chapters, and that may come later, it seems that it will be interesting, that it is a lot of saved lore for later. The truth is that it does not exploit it at any time. When these important scenes are over, the worst of the worst begins. The series basically boils down to a serious scene, a battle scene, and then 3 or 4 filler chapters. Yes, I understand that the characters do not have more powers and more, but it is that certain exceptions that do give it some grace. And most of these are filler things I have ever seen, and that is it. He goes on to write more, but I feel like that.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, really, like, I mean, a lot of these guys are just doing like their whole dissertation on this.
Yeah. Oh, I have to. See, that's why I have to use IMDb, because like I like to read my anime list, but those guys go into dissertations. Like they're writing 10-page papers.
Yeah. Yeah. And you picked a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. This is at least like 2 chapters or 2.
It's hard to like gauge like what their rating is. Like they're saying like it's out of 10, but they're picking 5s. And like, why not just say 2? Like he sounded like he wanted to say 2.
He didn't want. Well, yeah. I think whenever people give it like a 5-star rating, they're saying it's not that good.
See, well, like to me, a 5-star is like it's not good, not great.
Yeah,
it's not good, not bad.
Yeah,
and like 1, like it's like a neutral number for me. That's where I started out. Now, if it gets good, it goes closer to 10. If it gets bad, it gets closer to 9.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So I will go ahead and read you a 1-star review. This one's by Emma Herzog. Hard to get through and unbearable. It's awful. Almost none of the characters are likable. Nobody's feelings makes any sense, and the amount of random fan service is unbearable. The only reason I finished it was because I kept having people say it gets better at the end. It does not. Usually I don't make ratings, but I thought I should. This anime was so bad. Some people I like it, so maybe you might, but I personally found it very hard to watch.
I kind of agree with some of that.
Yeah, it brings up points on the negatives of this anime.
Yeah, and that's a big take on it. Now, as far as like unlikable characters, I do like these characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the characters. They're pretty good. I mean, I don't have any like really bad feedback on any of them, really. I mean, they all had a good way to play. Like they had a point in the story.
Mm-hmm.
All of them did. All right. Well, so those are the reviews we've read. Let's jump into the reviews, and I'll talk a little bit about it. Now, again, no spoiler alerts. We're not going to spoil it.
No spoilers right now.
No spoilers right now. I'll let y'all know when we're in the spoiler section. I am going to give this a 3.25.
3.25.
Yeah, 3.25 out of 5 edamames.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it started out amazing. This, I was so invested with like the very first half of this anime.
Yeah. Okay.
The very first half, I like the characters, but if I'm being totally honest, the second half was not great. So she was right on that. I don't like it, and you might like it because it did change like the tone of it all.
Yeah.
I did change it. I thought they could do more on the last episode, and I think I told you that, which was a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, it just was not an anime that I would recommend to. I would recommend like to watch it, but like someone's like, "What's a good anime to watch?" I wouldn't put this on the list of like ones I would pick.
Yeah. I'd have to be asked about like, hey, have you seen The Devil as a Part-Timer? Would you recommend it? And then,
yeah, it wouldn't be like, I'd be like, you might like the first half. I mean, to me, it was not terrible. I would never give it a 1 at 3.25. And we'll dive deep into it a little more why, but really, I did enjoy it, watching it. And, we get to watch it with each other. So that's like the best part is we get to just chill out all day and watch an anime when we're both off. So that's really nice. But to be honest, this is an easy 3.25 for me. What about you?
All right. I would give this just a 3.0 out of 5 edamames.
Oh, worse than me.
Yeah.
Is that happening now? Are you giving like worse reviews?
No, I'm not. No, I'd already decided I was going to give it this review.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I like that. We decided beforehand.
But yeah, I do notice the pattern now. You're right. Although I think our previous one, Chainsaw, but Princess Mononoke, I gave it a higher rating than you. Yeah. Anyways, so back to Devil's a Part-Timer. 3 out of 5. Just like you said, amazing. Starts out it starts out really amazing. The first episode like really draws you in. It's really well done. The comedy is hitting like perfectly. Like the characters grow on you. You like their personalities. The whole plot point of Satan working at McDonald's is really funny. They pull it off really well in the very beginning. The character interactions is funny. Right up until the halfway point, like there's a big kind of plot reveal, a major fight, and then shit peters out. It doesn't really go anywhere from there. And the season finale is very lackluster, if you even want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. It did not. I was calling it. I knew it because
I would have if you wanted me to base it on the first like 6 episodes, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it would definitely.
Yeah.
Like if it ended at like episode 6. Now I do think that was a midpoint episode where they had one where they
maybe it didn't filming. Quite get to episode 6, but it was way better the first half than the second half. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our rating, 3.25, and you got a 3.0 out of 5.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to jump in before we jump into the spoilers?
No, I don't think so. I think let's go ahead and dive into it.
All right, let's get into it. So, guys, we are now jumping into the spoiler section of the episode. So, if you have not seen the show, please go in there. Take our recommendations if you like. Go in there. Let us know what you actually think about it. If you think we gave good ratings on it, I'm sure people will going to say you gave it a good rating. Most people are going to say you did a terrible rating.
Yeah.
Either way,
tell us what you think about the anime as well.
Yeah. So now let's jump into the very first the way it starts off. So we're really, I mean, just right off from the beginning.
Yeah.
I got like Lord of the Ring vibes.
Kind of, and I actually had zero expectations for this anime. Like I didn't really know what to expect. I wanted it to be funny, but I was kind of blown away by the first like 10 minutes of the anime. Like it's like Lord of the Rings vibe. Like it's like super serious, like hardcore battles are happening, like wars like forming and happening, like armies are marching, and then culminates in a giant battle at the end. Like I was really impressed. Like the animation was like I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it was so good. I mean, it was just good, and it really like also gave me like God of War 3 vibes, where like Zeus is sending out all these gods like Hades and and Poseidon, all the places, and they're like having their own territory, and that's what he did. That's what Satan did. He sent out all his like lieutenants. Like one of them is Lucifer, who will come back later.
Mm-hmm. So, there's basically like Ente Island's like 4 main parts with an island in the middle, which is where Satan's at, and he's sending generals to the west, to the east, to the north, and the south, and they're each individually conquering the continents. So Lord of the Rings vibes. Yeah,
and it was awesome. Like we love Lord of the Rings, so that was really cool. And then we get introduced to the hero. So right now, Maoh or Satan is the villain.
Yeah, he's the villain.
He's the villain. He's taking over. He's killing. He's just being Satan, right?
Yeah, he's subjugating the human race. That's what he does.
And then we have Emilia, who is the hero, who is basically going continent to continent, conquering them all. And then now it's the final fight. Yeah. And they made that like split decision. I need to get out of here. I'll come back. And I'll take over control of Ente Isla. Yeah.
It was actually a pretty epic final fight too, with between Satan and Emilia. Like she cuts his horn off and stuff, and there's a bunch of blows exchanged, and then he realizes that he can't beat him, and so that's when he creates a portal and retreats. Now he doesn't know where it's going. He like sends out like a last message, kind of like an echoing like Sauron-y kind of speech about how he's going to return to Ente Isla and recapture it and to wait for him, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And then him and his right hand man, Al-Ciel, go through the portal. And then Emilia decides to follow him, which is the main hero that just beat him.
Yes, and we don't really know that till like I think episode. Well, we know at the end of episode 1.
At the end of episode
1, they introduced that, but that's kind of like where it starts, and they're now in in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah, the modern day Tokyo.
And they did a really good job too of like it wasn't the next scene he was working at McDonald.
Yeah.
Which they do that a lot. Like why, right? Why they did a good job of explaining that they need to know about. They ended up using some of their magic because they lost most of their magic. Mm-hmm. They don't really have it, and they do really funny scenes with that, where they're trying to use their magic in Tokyo, and it just doesn't work, which was really funny.
Yeah, he's like,
It was like yelling spells, like,
Yeah,
and nothing's happened. And the police are like, "Come on, sir, let's go."
yeah. Oh, these are some foreigners. They don't know what's going on.
They're color dressed.
And he's all trying to do it again, and like a taxi shows up, and he's like, "Did I do that?" Like,
oh yeah,
the power of my magic.
Yeah, you know, the taxi showed up because his hand was raised.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of comedic relief, but so now he goes to police and he gets all the information he needs to know about Tokyo, Japan. Now he knows that it lives off some type of currency.
Mm-hmm.
He learns that he needs like some place to dwell. And then he even shows him, you know, how he got like banking information, how he made someone from scratch, and he goes into why they need the job.
Yeah,
why he needs a job.
So they basically like legitimize themselves. They give themselves legal names. So now Lucifer is now called Maoh, Sadao Maou, and then Alciel is called ASCII. Yeah.
And that's where we're at right now. And I think that was just a good job because again, they like a lot of them would just go right into it, and I need explanation. I'm one of those guys that like that wouldn't work, and you know, why would explain that? So
they try to legitimize it. Like he's actually has to go like through legal process work and stuff like that. Yeah, and
it's really good. I mean, really, we get to see Maoh like just be the best McDonald's employee that company has ever seen. He's hardworking. What really drives me is that he's really caring about it.
Yeah.
Like he cares so much about his job there, and he loves it. And I thought that was very like it was funny, but it was really like his commitment to the job. Like, and now you're dwelling on is he like does he want to stay in Tokyo, Japan, or does he want to go back to Ente Isla? And spoiler alerts again, guys. We're here already. He doesn't go back this entire.
Not season 1.
Yeah,
maybe he does season 2. I don't know.
Season 1. If you're waiting for him to go back, he does not go back.
I thought he would.
I thought he would go back and then come back.
I thought there would be like a back and forth kind of thing. Yeah.
Same, but you know he never goes back. But and it did a good thing where it did the circular thing with the with an umbrella. His first interaction.
We should. Yeah. Okay. So mention that, and then we'll come back. We'll swing back around on that at the end.
What am I missing?
No. Well, okay. So right now, we don't know that the Hero Emilia is there.
You said that she followed him.
Well, we technically don't know,
okay.
but he doesn't know that she's there, right? So, and he's like going to work, and he has an umbrella, right? And so he sees this girl. They're at a stoplight, and this girl's standing in the rain, and he's like, "Here, take my umbrella. Like you can have it. Like I don't need it." And then he like speeds off on his bike because he's late to work, right?
And you know, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up because we didn't know Emilia was a girl. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, she's like decked out in armor, being a badass.
I did not know that she was a girl. She just looks like a badass in armor. You didn't really know that she was a girl or a guy or anything. You just knew she was the hero. So whatever she is like, I'm Emilia. When he gives her the umbrella, we'll come back to the umbrella later.
Yeah. He gives her the umbrella, which makes Emilia suspicious because she's like, why would someone give me an umbrella? And she decides to follow him. Well, at his job, he's like, they're doing like some stupid promotion about fries or whatever. And he's like, got to sell like top fries to be the number one in the company or whatever. And he's like super about it. Like he's just like going ham. And then the fryer breaks, right? And he's like having a panic attack because how is he going to please his boss or whatever? And, make these fries if the fryer broke. So he decides to use like what little magic he has to like fix the fryer so he can continue frying fries or whatever. Yeah. And he's like in the middle of casting a spell or something. And Emilia sees him doing that. And that's what tips her off that he's the devil, that he's about to use magic. So after that, I forget what, he doesn't actually cast a spell to make the fryer work. He was like about to, and then like his coworker like saves the day or knows how to turn it back on or whatever it is.
I think they just fixed it later. They called it maintenance.
Yeah, and they're like, this just happens or something. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he did fix it. You're right. So now she knows it, and then she of course attacks him. Yeah, which is really funny because she attacks him with I think like a small knife. Yeah, that she bought from the dollar store, which I forgot what they call it. It's very funny. Yeah, it's like the dollar store in Tokyo, Japan. Yeah, she buys this little knife to try to kill. Yeah,
it's like the dollar store. It's like the cheapest possible knife ever. I don't even know if it's really a knife. It might be like one of those paper cutters. That's or what something. I was thinking. It was like an envelope opener. Yeah, it's like not. Yeah, and so like they're having their little tussle in the street or whatever, and like the cops show up and they're like, "Oh, are you two lovers? Like you guys keep it down or whatever." And she's like, "No, I'm trying to kill him." And she's all, "But that's like a dollar store knife." Like
so that running joke is so funny because they're always like in lover quarrels. Mm-hmm. which I really love because you hear me say this all the time. I'm a big romance
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I love the slice of life and romance stuff. So it's so funny that they keep doing that, and it's really like you got to think about it. Like she wants him dead.
Yeah.
She wants him.
She
dead.
legitimately wants to kill him.
She wants to kill him.
Yeah.
She's been wanting to kill him, and we don't even know how time works. And Ente Isla, like how long is she wanting to kill him? She's traveling continents.
Yeah.
We have no like metric to see how long that's taken to get there. We don't even know if they have boats or what's going on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got some boats, but how are they getting across these islands and stuff? So she wants to kill him for like years now.
Yeah.
And now, she has her chance, and they're both, I guess, they're both humans.
Yeah, they're both human, and they're both poor. And then you find out she has to work a shitty job too.
Like, I mean, we don't know if she's poor. She has a nice apartment.
Well, she's got this.
She does have a shitty job.
Yeah.
She's like a telemarketer or something.
Makes phone calls.
Yeah,
or whatever.
she makes phone calls all day. And she does have a shitty job, which is really funny, because it always go back to the like no matter what's going on, they still go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, neither of them wants to be late and shit to work. They still need to do their job, even though they're having this, interdimensional battle with each other still in the human world.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, it makes me laugh every time.
Yeah, it is. It's a funny. It's a very funny
trope. It's a trope on the idea like this is like do or die. Like I need to kill this guy, but I got to go to work in the morning. I got to go. I open tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And Maoh doesn't want to kill Emilia.
Yeah.
Maoh has not ever, since being in Tokyo, Japan, has not ever wanted to kill her.
Yeah.
He never pursues it. He never tries to kill her. And that's it's because he says like I'll come back and roll you all over.
Yeah.
And like here's the number one person like that's stopping you.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He doesn't kill her.
He doesn't go out of his way to try to do harm to her or whatever. Yeah. He's just focused on trying to get back to Ente Island. His goal is that it's not to kill Emilia.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And now we can kind of talk about the
I want to say something real quick. So if you guys can tell, like we said, the beginning starts off great.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only talking about episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1 going into 2. Yeah. And we get into their docile, which is really funny. They get it's like it's like an apartment complex.
Yeah.
And with like multiple rooms, and they think it's all of it, and it's just like what do they call it? The devil. They
call it like the Devil Castle. Here's the new Devil Castle. Yeah, it's like literally the shittiest like thin paper walled like apartment, single room.
It's a studio. It's a 1 room studio where you sleep, where the kitchen's in the same room where you sleep. Mm-hmm. And it has a restroom that has just like 1 door, and it's all paper thin, and it's funny because they always go back to it, like, and they're sharing it. It's him and his right hand man, Ashia,
mm-hmm. Ashia,
and he is not working.
Yeah, his task is to basically figure out how to gain magic so he can go back. So he's like reading about pyramids and stuff like that, like studying at the library.
Okay, and that is also another plot point I want to mention is that. They don't really dive into that. Like he doesn't figure shit out.
Yeah.
He doesn't figure anything out about that.
They could have gone more with it, and it's just like he just keeps trying and failing, and then they kind of just forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, if it would be cool, like if he was like a student, I would like that.
Yeah,
like,
that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been really good. Yeah. Like, but they don't really do that. He goes to the library, picks up the books, but really that was it. And he's just like the housekeeper.
Yeah, he's like the maid. Yeah, he becomes the maid.
Yeah, he just cooks and he cleans. But he also is like the money manager.
Yeah, he's in charge of the budget.
Yeah, they touch base on that the entire show, which I really thought was funny. He's like super frugal. He's like, "Where'd you get that?" He's like, "I bought it with what money?" Like it's so, and it makes me laugh because that's how I am. Like I'm like, I can't spend that. I'll never recover financially. But yeah, so now we got into the 2 characters and mainly the main characters that we need to get to. There's a couple more. There's 3 more we needed to introduce, but we'll go when we get there. So that's their docile. They live in this really small house, and they always like a running joke with that is like because they're for some reason everybody's always over there.
Yeah,
and they keep making fun of it. Like there's always someone there, and I think that's really funny because it's such a small like place to live, and it actually gave me a lot of One Punch vibes because One Punch. It's funny because One Punch is, he's like a class C. I won't get too deep, but he was a class C superhero. But in his house, he had like Genos, he had King, he had all these like badasses in his house. And in this house, they have Satan and Satan's right hand man, and then they got the hero there.
The hero coming over,
And then so now we can get kind of into like his job life. because now we're not really. They're no longer being attacked. They're no longer like fighting. Emilia is just really keeping tabs on him at this point.
Yeah,
and we kind of introduced like I guess. So I don't know. This is like the love interest part.
Yeah, it's like the love interest. His coworker, Shiho.
Shihon. Let
me see.
I know it starts with CHI.
Yeah, it's Chiho.
Shiho.
Yeah.
So she is an under his employment. Like she's like an employee with him, and we don't get much from her.
Yeah, she's kind of one dimensional. She just decides she really likes Maoh. At least they kind of progressed that plot relatively quickly. Like it wasn't like this. They progressed the plot where she's like actually going to confess to him and stuff like that. You know, like she likes him. She's trying to figure it out, and she's like slowly making progress on that, and it does culminate in like an actual date between the two, which I thought was good. Like it didn't try to just play like Maoh being, oh, I'm oblivious and don't catch any of these hints type of thing. So, but other than that, all she just like really likes Maoh.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. So she is one dimensional because she doesn't really do much, but she does have an interesting plot point where she's hearing voices. About earthquakes. Yeah. And that's what leads them.
Yeah, that was a good plot device. But then once that ends, it's just then she fizzles out. Yeah.
She fizzles out and becomes the damsel in distress toward the end. Yeah. So that, and I do like that character. I think she's really funny.
Yeah, she was funny.
She's really funny because she's like the jealous, like
super ditzy as well.
She doesn't like Emilia at the beginning because she thinks Emilia is Mao's girlfriend.
Yeah, the ex-lovers and stuff like that, and like
So I think that's really funny. So she does there's these earthquakes happening that she feels them, and then she starts, and it's because there's actually some other people that traveled over.
Yeah, it's actually Emilia's allies, the human allies from Ente Island, and they're like sending out. I don't know if it's like sonar or some kind of signal, and it's basically like interfering with the real world and causing earthquakes. Yeah. And it's explained that she's hearing the voices like calling out to Emilia because she's close with the devil, like in proximity wise, or maybe they touched each other. I can't really remember, but like it's a direct consequence of her being close with the devil, right? And so she's hearing the voices, and she knows when the earthquakes are happening or about to happen, feels them, and it's kind of starts letting Maoh know, like, hey, I want to talk to you about this kind of thing.
And you know, that was really cool. I like that because it kind of had we need in like every anime, we need like two love interests. Yeah. Like we need to be like, you know, like Bleach, you know, or Hime, or you know, Rukia. You know, we need to know who he's gonna pick. We want to know.
There's got to be some kind of conflict there.
Yeah. So, and we get that with her, but now we can start to get into the really cool scene where Maoh. Now it is explained the earthquake happens and it does some serious damage, or like they're trapped in there, and because of that.
Yeah, it's actually on the date. Like Chiho finally works up to indirectly ask him on a date, and then like I said, like Maoh isn't acting like pretentious or whatever. It's actually a really funny scene because like he knows he's about to go on the date and he's just gonna wear regular ass clothes, but Ashia, his right hand man, is like, oh hell no, like I'm breaking the bank, like we're gonna spiff you up or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. They take him shopping and shit and
get you a button up.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was pretty funny. Yeah. And so the date, they go on the date, and Ashia is there too.
Yeah, he's like watching and stuff, and then Emilia is also spying him. So all four of them in the same location. It's a good scene. Don't want to spoil too much for you guys who haven't seen it, but
these guys are the people that already seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I liked how like Maoh and Emilia are like not Maoh but Ashia are like both following him, but they're like Ashia's trying to like stop Emilia from going over there, and then she finally decides, like walks over there and just starts bitching at Maoh. Yeah, like,
what are you doing over here? Who's this? Like, like really like a kind of like an ex-girlfriend.
As this ex-girlfriend showed up, like you're having lunch with this chick, and then some someone you know just starts over there just hounding you.
Yeah, just spewing all.
Yeah, vitriol all over you.
And so that was super funny. And but see the next, like the scene that the earthquake does is it introduces how he gets his power.
Yeah, so the earthquake happens in the middle of this, right? And like it's like a disaster. Like it literally is like caving in everything. Like people are probably dead. Like, you know, and you see, is this the first time Maoh actually transforms back into the devil? Like he's actually literally gains his power back. He like gains like 3 feet. 3 feet. He gains like 3 feet in height, like 150 pounds of muscle. Like
he looks great. Yeah. And he doesn't want Shi to see him.
Yeah.
So he like disappears, and then he uses either Emilia or
Emilia like silences her, like puts her to sleep, like uses her powers or whatever.
So now and it explains it is that the devil or the Satan can gains his power when people are afraid.
Yeah, through the power of fear.
Fear makes them powerful.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I thought that was really awesome that like shines a little light. Like, you can imagine him being so powerful in Ente Isla because everybody's afraid.
Yeah, everyone feared him. Yeah.
So, but here, he, in Tokyo, Japan, no one's really fearing him.
Yeah. And I think he realizes, this might be like the plot reveal where like now Maoh knows that someone's causing the earthquakes on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
So like he realizes it now. He knows it. I think there was like maybe a scene like right before that where
they get attacked.
Right? They get attacked, right? Emilia and him are like out like arguing or whatever it is on the street, like with a little brawl, and like they're like kind of sniped at.
Yeah, or something. And they end up losing the bike.
Yeah, this is his bike, right?
Also, did you find anything about the bikes?
I don't know what you mean.
For some reason, they named their bikes.
Oh, what did he even name it? I can't remember.
I don't remember, but he has names for his bike, and they keep getting destroyed or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he makes up a name for it.
Yeah.
I thought that was just super funny. I don't know if that was a thing, but I remember we were talking about it.
Yeah.
He names the bikes.
Yeah.
So he turns into this, super giant, muscular Satan, and he gets them out of there. And
then he uses his magic powers, the ones he just gained from the fear of the earthquake, and he restores everything. Like spends his power to put everything back to normal.
I don't think he does it on this one, on the earthquake.
On the earthquake? Are you sure?
I don't think he does. I think he does it. He does the repair stuff after the next, like the midpoint battle.
I mean, maybe you're right. Nah, because I want to say Emilia was surprised, but maybe I'm getting confused there because this is like literally right on the next episode's the review and the big battle. Maybe it's all one and the same. It might be like connected.
Not from what I remember, maybe. But anyways, but so he's he uses his power to restore stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess we can now kind of get into this midpoint area where
this is the midpoint.
Yeah, and so this is everything so far has been great.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's about to get good too.
Yeah.
So we find out that who's causing the or who's the big villain is at this midpoint.
Yeah, the big bad.
Yeah, so it's two people, and I really like this because you would think like, is it someone that's with Satan, somebody that's with Emilia, sorry. Yeah. And we find out that it's both.
Yeah, it's both.
It's like
it's traitors from both sides. Like Emilia's with the church, and it's a traitor from the church working with I think his name is Obla. Working with one of Satan's ex-generals, and they're both and they want to kill both Emilia and Maoh. Like they want them both dead. Like once they're both gone, then they're gonna go back to Ente Isla and rule the world themselves or whatever it is.
They have a plan. They're plotting. And and that's when we get like Lucifer is just kind of a badass. Yeah, he's just really cool. And Lucifer plays in the character later on, but he's just such a badass, and we get to see him kind of.
He's a badass. He's a sadist too. Like he enjoys like toying and tormenting with people. He's pretty formidable from what we see so far.
Agreed. And then Maoh, so Maoh has this like really cool plot or a good idea where he wants everyone to see them. Attacking.
Yeah, fighting.
He wants them to see everyone attacking because he's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing anything. They're destroying it. Nothing's happening. And this is kind of where, it's getting, people are starting to see it and they're starting to get scared. Mm-hmm. And then this is kind of the best, I guess, best scene for me. Like one of my favorite scenes is he finally transforms back into the devil because everyone's afraid. And the very first thing he does is like he's looking at Lucifer. And he like basically teleports right in front of his face. And then they changed the medium of the way they animated it. And he just looks so dark. Yeah. And then,
like he's pissed off now.
Yeah, he's pissed. Yeah. And he ends up, winning. Yeah. And then this is where I think he did it, and where he repaired the scene.
Yeah, he definitely does do it there. And this is like, I think where Emilia is like, oh, he had all this power, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't go back to Ente Isla. He didn't do anything.
And Emilia beats her counterpart too, the church guy or whatever. Yeah.
Pixies from
Pixies. Oh yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah,
it's like Pixies from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
So he beats them, and this is kind of an interesting part where they sit in Oblong,
Oba or whatever his name is.
Yeah, bald guy with mustache. They sent him to jail. He goes to jail. He goes to Tokyo jail.
Yeah.
And then as far as Lucifer, he ends up becoming the third roommate.
Yeah.
With them, and all he does is does things on the computer.
Yeah, he like kind of like how Maoh does, like in his devil form, he like sizes down to his normal human form. Yeah, so like Lucifer basically turns into like this little like otaku nerd person sitting on the internet all day.
Yeah, just sitting there doing
bumming.
Yeah, literally bumming. Yeah. What was his? What's his human name? It's Ushihara.
Uru Shihara.
Say it again.
Uru Shihara.
Uru Ichihara.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's kind of long.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll call him Lucifer then. He'll be the only exception here. So now that happened, and this is where I don't like it.
Yeah. Right at this point is like, this is like the halfway point. Like things are going pretty good, and then after this, it's like, it's hard to even say like what happens for the next like 6 episodes that's like meaningful. Like it's like it's kind of like rehashing just all the old jokes again. It comes across as filler.
Yeah, it comes across as filler. I agreed. Yeah, and I think this midpoint happened in episode 5, and the show is 13 episodes.
Yeah, 13 episodes.
13 episodes. So for the next 6-7 episodes, we really just get them doing day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, it's day-to-day stuff. Yeah,
day-to-day stuff.
Like you could have mixed and matched any of the episodes. Like episode 8 could have been episode 6, and episode 13 could have been episode 9. It wouldn't have made any difference to the plot, really.
Yeah. Like there's like an episode where they send them to the water park, McDonald's.
Yeah.
The only thing that did happen that I guess we should touch on is they opened up a competing fast food restaurant across the street.
Yeah, that's like the highlight. That's the next like plot point development.
That's what we're getting now.
Yeah.
And you catch it, right? It's SFC.
They open up an SFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
So good, right?
Yeah. And they're like, it's got a plot point where like they're stealing all the business, and so they're like trying to be like, I don't know, the greatest McDonald's workers to get their customers back.
Yeah.
It had some funny moments.
Yeah, and it really just turned into a slice of life for me. Yeah, really, it's like him. Like now he's the shift manager when the main
he gets promoted or whatever.
So now he's running the store. That's a part of it, and he does this thing where he tried to promote it. So really, the Kentucky Fried Chicken part is a big plot we need to get into because it comes back full circle toward the end. But we also get introduced to another character, Suzuno,
which kind of comes out of nowhere. She like just knocks on their apartment and like decides to be their maid. Yeah.
Well, chill out. She just cooks for them. You don't clean up. She cooks.
You're right. You're right.
She just cooks for them. So I guess chef.
Yeah.
She cooks for them, and then there's this like interesting part where
she's also got like a weird personality kind of quirk where she's like extremely old fashioned. Like the way she speaks is like old Japanese, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. She dresses in the traditional Japanese.
Yeah, traditional.
Yeah. Well, they touch base on that later on, and this is where Emilia goes up and says like, "What is your intentions? Do you want to be with him, or do you want him, or something?"
Yeah, something like that. Like, do you want him? And she's like, "Yes,
I do want him." How did you know? She's like, "I know, whatever, blah, blah." And so now we have like 3 love interests in
here. Yeah.
And so this is all happening, and it's just slice of life stuff.
Yeah, slice of life stuff.
She's going to work. They run into each other. He sends over them to go spy on Kentucky Fried Chicken. Then we find out about this manager who's kind of a skeevy guy.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, there's really nothing for him. Like there's nothing about him that's like
everyone finds him creepy. Like literally everyone.
But he's a great manager. I mean, he's running the business. They're doing good, right? So he sends like Ashia. He sends Emilia goes there with her coworker. And then they bring, I think she's there too as well.
Yeah.
So they're all there eating, and there is a funny part where they're eating, and she's talking about Maoh, and her coworker thinks she likes Maoh.
Yeah.
She's like, "You always talk about him. You like him. You like him." And she's like, "Shut up! I don't like him." Blah. And then she starts talking bad, and Ashia cannot stand for it.
Yeah.
So he just like gives away his that he's there, and And he was like, I don't want to sit with you. And she was like, I'll buy you, I'll buy you, like, whatever, the new snack. And he's like, okay, I'll sit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really fun. It was funny. It was funny.
Granted, we say it feels like filler. It's because nothing truly major happens. This still has its moments, but it doesn't have the same magic as the first half. And
it's really like introducing these like very intricate small details that kind of matter. Like the Kentucky Fried Chicken matters because that's where we get in the new villain for the finale.
Yeah,
or almost finale. And then we get to meet the new character
Suzuno. And she's got her own little plot twist. It turns out she's actually an assassin there to kill Maoh, and she thought she knows who Emilia is and that she's the hero. And so whenever Emilia asks her, do you want Maoh? And she's like, yes. Like she thinks that Emilia is going to help her kill Maoh, and Emilia's thinking that she likes Maoh, and so she's like trying to help him like form a good impression and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like she's making him bento boxes and this stuff like that. Yeah.
Bento box. Oh yeah, the bento box. She makes him a bento box, and then she finds out that So very funny.
It's got its moments.
And we're like probably around episode maybe 10 where Emilia gets attacked.
Mm-hmm.
She starts getting attacked, and guess who saves her? The convenience store clerk with tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
Which they drew him very funny. I don't know why they did that, but they drew him very lanky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had like a different style.
I'd almost forgot about that.
I remember because I was like, what? I was thinking that maybe he's gonna do something.
Yeah, I thought.
These are all everyone's like hidden into but nope, he's just a convenience store worker.
Yeah.
So we get that, and now we get the big reveal that the Kentucky Fried Chicken manager is actually an angel, right? Is that what he is?
Yeah, I want to say he's an angel. It doesn't tell me on this. Like,
I don't really call what, because again, it came out of left field. I do think that he's
So I'm looking at sorry to interrupt you. I'm looking at the characters on my anime list, right? And they got that dude, the convenience store clerk, his Nakayama. Apparently he's important, but not the Kentucky Fried Chicken manager. They got him on there, but
all right. Yeah, that's the real hero right there.
Yeah.
So the Kentucky Fried Chicken manager is the villain, and he's working with Suzuno. And this is why I really like. This is why when we were doing the reviews, somebody said that they didn't like the characters. Mm-hmm. This is where I put Maoh as like such a great, hero, and him being like the main character, like him being the best MC. It's whenever, so we're now at the point where Emilia is getting attacked by this guy. Name we can't find because he's not that important apparently. And they're being attacked, and she wants Suzuno to help, and she's like, no, I'm not going to help you because I'm not with you. I want Maoh dead. Basically that's what's going on. So her last phone call, she calls Maoh. That's her last phone call, and he comes to rescue her with a mop or with a broom, and he goes out there to help her, and that's whenever we get this final fight, and this is probably episode 11 and 12. They start battling. Him and Suzuno start fighting. And he says this line to Suzuno. He's like, first off, he takes off his shirt and his pants.
Oh, yeah.
He takes off his shirt and pants because that comes out of his check if he gets damage to it.
Yeah.
So, against, being very frugal. And this is kind of the cool part, is that he's getting attacked by Suzuno. He's like, I gotta help I gotta help her, I gotta help her, I gotta help her. Stop attacking me. They're going back and forth. He's not really trying to kill her.
Yeah.
He really can't. I don't think he has the ability. He's wasted all his magic. So he really can't do nothing. So there's a part where he's like, I know you don't want to work. I know you don't want to be an assassin anymore. I know you don't want to work for him no more. I know you don't. He's like, what are you saying? That she's still attacking him. He's like, why'd you let she call me? Why'd you let that phone go through?
Yeah.
I know you don't. I know you're better than this. And then he goes out and fights the Kentucky Fried Chicken manager.
I found it. His name is Mitsuki.
Yeah. Goes out and fights Mitsuki. And she doesn't stop him. She just lets him go to fight them.
Yeah.
And then that's when we get into their fight, where he has Emilia kind of in this like torture device. Where he's like extracting energy from her.
Something like that.
Yeah, it gets a little iffy toward the end.
Yeah.
And then she's just kind of the damsel in distress. Which I really was kind of hoping that she was something else.
Yeah, I kind of wanted her to
like use something.
Maybe develop a power or something.
Develop like a skill or something that would be useful.
Yeah.
She does not in season 1.
Yeah.
So we get into this final fight. It's really good. I mean, it's really good back and forth. I like that it's like Kentucky Fried Chicken versus McDonald's. And that's kind of where we leave off. There are some plot points I'll kind of cover, like backtrack a little bit about. But we get into this final fight with them. Of course, they come victorious. He puts the Kentucky Fried Chicken manager in like the McDonald locker.
McDonald's freezer, yeah.
Suzune, and then they go on and live their normal life.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things we didn't touch on, and I just kind of came to me toward this end. But Emilia is half angel.
Oh yeah, she's half angel. Also, she hates Satan. Like the plot point of her wanting to kill him so much is because her father is killed by his armies. Yeah. So and so she's like the church's prodigy, and so she channels her hatred to become the hero that can defeat Satan, and only she can because she's half human, half angel.
Yeah. And then there's this weird problem with the church in Ente Isla where they don't know where Oblong has gone. And they don't know where he's gone, but they know he's like a traitor. Yeah. But they also don't want it to get out that he's a traitor.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, devious. And, I'm a big fan of like, where it's like good versus evil and, it's, hell versus heaven type stuff.
Yeah.
But really, I like that it's the two sides are,
kind of flipped.
Yeah, they're flipped. Like, Satan's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
And, Emilia's not a bad person either.
Yeah.
But the church is bad.
Yeah, the church is like corrupt and has its own problems.
They have their own narratives going on there.
Also, the devil also kind of showed like a little bit of like sympathy. Like it was kind of cheesy whenever they mentioned it, because like Emilia is like spilling her heart out to him about why she hates him and she killed his father, and like he hears it for the first time and he's like, I've never thought of that before. Like I didn't really think about it. The suffering I was causing, as in Thailand, and he says he's sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry I killed your dad.
Is that a card? They have those cards at Walgreens?
Yeah. It was kind of cheesy, but he slightly sympathizes, I guess.
Yeah, and but really, throughout this entire anime, he never shows interest in going back.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
He doesn't really care to go back. He doesn't want to go back.
Yeah, it seems like he really just enjoys his life as a McDonald's worker.
Yeah, it's just like that's just like what he wants to do. He just wants to be the manager,
Yeah.
And and this is where I really stopped, and I didn't like. So we're in episode 12, and they've already beaten the big.
Yeah,
bad.
that should have been the season finale.
That should have been the season finale, but episode 13, you would think it'd be like, like building for the next season or building for something.
Yeah, show us what's going to happen, what to expect from season 2.
Now this came out in 2013. Right?
2013, right?
So 2013, season 2 just finished airing in 2023.
Yeah, literally about 10 years later. Yeah.
So I don't know what they were planning on doing, but with episode 13, you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get they have a
like the major plot point of season 13 is Chiho is afraid. I said season.
Yeah, damn, this is good. This anime's doing good.
Hey, it's like that one guy said. He hopes it goes on forever.
I want season 13. You called it.
She's just afraid he's gonna go back to Ente Island, and she's having nightmares and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then Emilia is having nightmares that he's tricked them all and he's still the devil and is gonna go back to Ente Island. So like they're like setting that up, And I wanted him to go back sometime in season 1 and then have that. Of course he still got to go back and beat the church or whatever. I guess that's the plot point, but they don't.
It's like hinted.
Very hinted. Very like I'm stretching, trying to think of what's left. Like that's what's left, but they don't talk about that. Like that's not hinted to.
So episode 13 really is just Ashia comes in and says, "I need to speak to you. It's private. I can't say that in front of people." So he asks everyone to leave, and it's just Maoh, him, and Lucifer, and he tells them that he needs some time off. Yeah. And they don't really know what he needs time off for. Yeah. But and now Emilia is like skeptical, and and also Maoh asked for time off from work as well. Yeah. Which I don't.
So Emilia thinks they got some super secret plot.
Yeah, and I don't really. So the plot is, and you called it. You said it's gonna be something dumb.
Yeah, you were like, I wonder what they're doing. And I was like, it's gonna be. Yeah, I said it's gonna be stupid, something trivial.
they ran out of money, so they needed to get like these side jobs.
Yeah, like rent was due like in 3 days, and they needed a job that could pay them on the spot.
Yeah,
like
so they were temps, and Maoh worked like at a construction site, and she worked at like a scam agency.
Yeah, scam agency,
which will come back later on that one. But so we get this like like reason, and but to me, one thing I don't understand is he asked for time off from McDonald's to work at this in like this temp job, but he's not getting paid for McDonald's now.
Well, see, they explain that away because he needs money on the spot. He's basically like a physical laborer, and he has to get paid at the end of the day.
You're right. Never mind. Yeah. Edit that out. But so you're right. You did say that. But that's happening, and so that's the first half. The second half is that Lucifer accidentally ordered, like he ordered from the like a scamming agency where they send like products that are working but they're useless, and they got to come as bundles. So you can't send them back. And they send like these mattresses that are packed 7, but they only pack them 5 to send to them. So you can't send them back if you have an incomplete set.
Yeah, he gets scammed for. It's hard to do the yen. Maybe if some of you guys can tell us in the comments like how yen translates. It's like 128,000 yen, which I don't know how much money that is. But yeah, he gets an entire. Maybe he gets like an entire apartment full of bullshit like fire extinguishers and stuff, and then like a third of the episode is them like trying to figure out how to like get the refund. Like Emilia is helping them doing the call or whatever. It was actually pretty funny because he calls them, right? And we didn't even catch this.
I did not.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. Yeah. So ASCII also has a temp job, right? So like he calls like the scam agency, and like this dude's just like giving him the runaround, telling him, "Oh, well, you voided the warranty because of this, and the fire extinguishers cannot be returned due to like fire code." And
like he used actual code.
Yeah, like they're giving him the runaround, and then they're like, he's all pissed off, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna go there in person and talk to this guy." And I fucking like knock on the fucking office door, and like ASCII opens it. It was like him giving him the runaround. Yeah, that was a pretty funny moment.
That was it was pretty hilarious. I like that. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And so we got that, and so it ends where Emilia's like, "How old did you make Lucifer?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I made him this age." "Oh, just make him this age," and then they have to return it.
Yeah, they find the loophole, and they get their money back.
The end.
Yeah. That's the end. That's the season finale.
Oh no, there's one more, and because we watched the outro.
Oh, okay.
It was a different outro.
Yeah,
where it shows all of the characters that are living on like Tokyo, Japan. Actually, it shows some of the other characters too. But we get this last scene where he's walking in, and then it's raining, and Emilia goes here and gives him an umbrella because she threw away the original umbrella he gave her. And he gives it to her. She gives it to him, and you shouldn't walk in the rain. They have this small moment where they're looking at each other, and me being, I want a kiss. If they kissed, if they hugged, if they had one embrace, just one, like she just said, "I really like you," or he said, I don't know, anything like that, I would have been over the moon, and I would be okay with it.
Yeah,
because it would either I wanted a 6.
You wanted that confirmation of romance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted something like that. Nothing. He gives an umbrella. I threw yours away. Here it is while you're in the rain. The end.
Yeah. And
that's where we get to here. And now we're at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Which, and that's why I gave it such a shitty score. Because when you think about it, like, even we talked about the intro was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, the intro was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it had like this weird divine of like good and evil fighting, and then it has them like, it was such a good intro.
Yeah.
Good music.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why my rating is so low.
Yeah. I'm essentially giving it a 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10. It's above average. Not something I'd go out of my way to be like, you need to watch this. If it sounds funny to you and you got time, definitely watch it. Like it had its moments. It's like
there was also like one of the reviews said there's fan service in there.
I didn't really get the fan service.
It's with she a lot.
She was the fan service.
She has like the bus.
Yeah,
that was like the fan service.
And then the other fan service is like it'll show Emilia changing in her workstation with her coworker. That's like it, but it's like not even like blatant fan service. Like
it's definitely not. I don't know what he's not. He hasn't seen
their idea of fan service is like they watch G-rated stuff and they're afraid of seeing a little bit of cleavage.
So yeah, I mean, I was thinking about recommending. Like, would you recommend it to like a child or like a young adult? Not a child.
I don't know if they could appreciate it just because the job aspect when working at McDonald's is or McDonald's is the a huge plot point. Like like I think only someone who's had to work like a customer service type job or any all of us have had to work jobs we don't want to. That aspect is pretty funny. Other than that,
Maoh. Not Maoh. He loves it.
Yeah, if you haven't worked a job, I don't know. I mean, I guess it'd still be funny, but
yeah. So I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. Like again, I wouldn't be like, you gotta watch this.
Again, I think I mentioned it. Someone would have to ask me, what'd you think of this? Did you ever watch Devil's a Part-Timer? And I'd be like, yeah. And then I would probably just tell them exactly what I did now. Great intro, but sucks at the end.
I'll just send them the link.
Send them a link to this. Yeah. Listen to us rant about it for an hour.
Listen to the Edamame Anime Club. All right. Well, you have anything to add?
No. I thought it was kind of a poignant ending with the episode 1 beginning with him handing the umbrella and then full circle back around Emilia handing him the umbrella back again. Nothing really came of it. Everyone's still at the same where they are. Emilia still wants to kill him because he's the devil. He's just still working at McDonald's. Like there's for all that had happened, a lot of nothing happened.
Yeah, it was like they're in the same spot.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed for them.
So,
I think if you're a big fan of slice of life, you'll like this.
Yeah.
If you can avoid like some of the like the fight sequences because there's really not that much fighting going on. There's
not. There's like 3 fights. So,
which I didn't expect, to be honest.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really expect much. When you said that earlier, I didn't know what to expect.
I had no expectations. Yeah.
So, well, you nothing to add?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure to share, tell your friends about this episode. If you agree with us, let us know. If you don't, then put it down in the comments. Tweet at us, write us. All the links will be in the description. All right. You guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys later.
Yep.
Bye.
Later.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That was a really good episode. How long was it?
56 minutes, dude. I don't know how we do it.
Every time. We're never either.